Hi, how are you? Sorry I'm late. I lost track of time this morning.
I know you're alright, don't worry about it, these things happen.
Okay, so Dave, what did you want to talk about with me today?
Well, I've an agenda here, if that's alright. Just a few things that I want to go over and discuss with you.
Oh yeah, perfect, that's great. I forgot to do it up, so I just work off yours if that's okay.
Yeah, okay. The first thing is, to be honest, I'm worried about Sean's attendance, or lack of attendance really. I feel that he's not been here is having an impact on me getting my intervention done with him.
Yeah, I know, I've noticed that Sean hasn't been here as often, and it is something that has been brought to my attention already by other staff.
Okay, so is there anything that can be done about this? Because it isn't really benefiting him either.
Well, the Cotton On programme is a voluntary programme, so Sean isn't obliged to come in, so there isn't really much that I can do in this situation.
Alright, okay, so can nothing be done because I'm just afraid I'm not going to be able to finish my portfolio on time.
Well, I can ring his mother when I get the chance to see what his situation is and what we can do to help you get it done on time.
Okay, and when will that be? It's just, I want to try and get it done as soon as possible because my portfolio is nearly due.
Oh, I'll do that later today, maybe tomorrow or whenever I get a free minute.
Alright, it's just, I feel like I've said this before and it hasn't really been taken up urgently, so I just kind of need a bit of reassurance around the whole thing.
Oh, don't worry, that won't happen again. It just got lost amongst other things.
Have you any advice on how I might approach Sean about it when I meet up with him? If he comes in, or could you go through with what I might say?
Well, that's up to you really. You should know enough at this stage and have enough confidence in your abilities to deal with it.
Okay, but I'm only here a few weeks and I haven't had a proper supervision yet, so I'm not really sure what my role is or exactly what I'm supposed to be doing here in the agency. I don't want to step too far beyond what I'm supposed to be doing as a student.
Have the staff not been going through the policies and procedures with you?
Well, they gave me paperwork to read, alright, but I've done that and no one seems to have any time to go through it with me, though. I don't fully understand it.
Okay, well, you just came here at a really busy time. Really, you should be able to pick up the most of what you need to know just by shadowing the staff. Anytime we get the chance, I will do supervision with you. But from what I hear, you're working fine, so don't be getting too hung up over these things. So while we're here, is there anything else you want to ask me?
No, not really. Just the situation with Sean was probably my main concern.
Well, I'll do my best to get that sorted by the end of the week. Is that everything? So,
Well, actually, would we be able to set a date for another meeting? Or
no, not the way things are here at the moment. Give me a shout Monday and we'll see what the timetable is like, or else any time we get a quiet moment, just remind me, okay?
Well, would you mind if we set an appropriate date and time for a meeting? We'll have time to discuss my agenda and maybe rehearse what I could say to Sean, as I'd like some clarification on my role in the agency.
Okay, I'm sorry, I've just been so busy with meetings the past few weeks. In my experience with clients that have issues around attendance, it's best to contact parents immediately and set up a meeting with Sean and his parents. I will ring his parents today and we will try to set up a meeting which you can attend if you wish.
Okay, and what do you reckon I should say to Sean if I meet him in the meantime?
You can let Sean know that you have noticed his absenteeism and that you are concerned and just want to ensure everything is okay. Would you like to practice saying it to me?
No, I think I'll be okay. I just didn't have any. I just wanted to make sure I knew how to engage with him over the issue.
Okay, well you can say that to him, and if you have any more concerns or issues, don't be afraid to ask staff members or myself for help. Will we set up a meeting for next Monday at 11? I will be free that day and we can spend a bit more time working through your portfolio.
Yeah, that's perfect, thanks.
Okay, I'm sorry again about our meeting being scarce. I'm glad you brought it to my attention and I'm sure to get the time needed each week from now on. So,
alright, thanks.
thank you.
I'm good now, and you? Good. So actually, is there anything you want to discuss with me this week?
No, it's okay.
And is there anything you feel you need to talk to me about? How do you want to use this time?
Well, I have an agenda here with a few points, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's perfect.
I'd like to talk about the situation with Michael. It's kind of a constant worry for me lately.
Okay, and what's worrying you about Michael?
I just feel that he's become very attached to me lately, and I'm worried that some of it might be my fault. I told him what school I went to, and he made the connection that I went to school with his sister, and now he's asking me to accompany him home on his next access visit. I just feel overwhelmed by all this responsibility, and I feel anxious over this because he won't work with anyone else but me and is refusing to do his homework with anyone else.
This must be very frustrating for you, and I'm sorry to see that you're in this situation. However, I'm actually very glad that you brought this to my attention, because having to deal with a worry like this by yourself can be very difficult.
Yeah, it has been difficult the past few days. I'm just worried that I overstepped my professional boundaries.
But boundaries does seem to be an issue here, so maybe there needs to be some bit of clarity around that. And I know this process can be very confusing, but it is something that does need to be cleared up.
Yeah, I feel that it is something, if I had more clarity around it, I'd be more confident around the situation. What do you think needs to be done about Michael though, and how he fits into the situation?
So how about in our next meeting we'll dedicate it to boundaries and managing boundaries. In terms of Michael, I want you to answer that question yourself. How do you think he sees the situation? Let's try and solve it together.
I think because there's only a few years between our ages, that maybe he doesn't view me as a friendly professional but more as a professional friend. I feel like it's something that I need to discuss with Michael, because if it isn't addressed, our client-professional relationship will become
That's a
unhealthy.
concise reflection, so well done on that. You are going in the right direction. Now, do you feel there's any theoretical perspectives that you could look at that might help you get an insight into this situation?
Well, maybe attachment theory could be applied here. Just in future, if I was more aware of his attachment style.
Okay, and what attachment style do you think he possesses?
Because he's so emotionally attached to me that he may have an ambivalent attachment. Is that right?
Yeah, well done, that actually is correct. So what I want you to think about now is how you're going to approach this discussion with Michael, if that's okay. And if it is okay, would you maybe like to rehearse it here with me now?
Okay, I think it would be best to bring it up when it's just me and Michael, maybe after we do his homework. I think if I explain to him that I can't be doing his homework with him every day and that I have other duties to perform, and then kind of distance myself from him that way. Do you think that's the right thing to do? I feel uncomfortable with the relationship that seems to be developing.
And I can understand why you feel uncomfortable. I think you have the right idea by distancing yourself, but try to be aware of how you communicate this to Michael. I would suggest thinking about how you will do that a bit more. I'll be around in the morning if you want to have another quick chat about how to approach this situation before you say anything to him.
Yeah, would it be okay if I came back tomorrow, just for like 10 minutes?
Yeah, that's no bother. I'll be around first thing in the morning. Is there anything else?
No, that was it really.
Okay, so this was a good supervision, if you don't mind me saying. So I feel like we've gone through a good bit today. So hopefully now your head might be a bit clearer about how to deal with this situation.
Yeah, I feel like it was a good supervision too. It was very insightful.
So next week, what date and time will suit you?
Maybe the same time next week?
Yeah, that's good for me too. Maybe we'll have it this time every week, yeah? It seems to suit the two of us, doesn't it?
Yeah, it suits me, yeah.